7:44, welcome back. Tuesday morning, back to school Tuesday. So we have to bring in the big guns, the president, Student Society over at UBC. Ava Nasiri is joining us right now. Thank you for coming in.
Anytime, happy to.
It's an exciting time. You're in your final year of university, but for those that are experiencing their first taste of university life, what is that one line of perspective to keep in mind with the overwhelming stimuli coming their way?
I'd say the biggest message I would share is that you are your own best resource. And what I mean by that is whether you're anxious or curious about academics and doing well in class, or about making friends and meeting new people and having a good time, it's all about your own ability to go out there and find what you need. And that plays both into going to your prof's office hours, saying hello, and asking for help if you're struggling with the schoolwork, or joining a few clubs and testing out a few communities to see what fits for you.
Okay, so you're hitting on a bunch of points here. Let's first talk about orientation week.
Okay.
That first week to manage expectations. You're going to class, classes are a lot bigger, you got to line up, get your student ID. There's a lot happening. What are the key expectations in that first week of university?
I'd take it step by step. So if you show up this morning and you're worried about not knowing where the library is and where your classes are going to be, think about each day as, okay, this is my first step. I'm going to find this class. Once it's over, worry about the rest of it. Make sure to eat. Also, food is important.
Yeah.
And the first week is really not too heavy on the workload academically, so try to make some friends in class, introduce yourself to the people sitting next to you, and stop by some of those orientation events. I know most campuses do have quite a bit of programming going on, just because they know that the first couple weeks of September, there's a little bit less schoolwork and more time to socialize.
And when the schoolwork does kick in, and it's funny you say remember to eat, because I remember studying for hours on end thinking, okay, it's been a 10-hour day, I didn't even eat lunch because you're just plowing through, but the value of taking advantage, whether it's a teaching assistant or professor, what is that value of going to those office hours and making that personal connection?
Well, the first step is showing up to class, and if you show up to office hours and they've never seen you before, that might be trouble. But even if you have an assignment due, whether it's chemistry or physics or a paper for arts, and you have no idea how to approach it, going to office hours and introducing yourself to the professor, that is really helpful in terms of the guidance that they can give you. And I think that it can really help your GPA farther down the line as well.
How many student clubs exist on campus, say UBC alone? Because there's plenty of opportunity out there if you start looking for it.
Yeah, there's about 405 this year. And
405 clubs.
405 clubs, yep. Some of our oldest ones are the Varsity Outdoors Club and the Chinese Varsity Club. Other than those two, we've had about 50 or so applications every year. And so even if of the 405 that exist, you don't find one that is the right fit for you, you can go out there and start your own.
Well, it sounds like great advice for the extroverts out there that like to put themselves out there, connect, find your new community. What do you say to the introvert that's overwhelmed with everything that's going on and is really anxious about meeting new people?
I think a lot of the message that new students get is you have to go to the parties, you have to join all of the clubs, and that's not necessarily part of the nature of every single student that's coming out to campus. And so it's totally fair and valid to find some of those communities that are smaller, that have a little bit less of the party and loud music and dark scene, and find your own community. But also, you're there to learn. So it's completely okay to start up your own research project or consult a few professors and see what's out there if they need some support with some of the work that they're doing.
Support being a key word, and I didn't find the resources really until the third or fourth year of university. Asking for help, what exists out there for those that are really dealing with anxiety?
Well, there's quite a few things, and I think that on most campuses you'll notice that the Student Society can play a role in connecting students to what they're looking for. The university will provide counseling services. The AMS also provides a peer-to-peer support program, so if you want to chat with a fellow student and not a trained professional, you can stop by the Speakeasy office on the main floor of the Nest. And if there isn't a program like that out there, then that's something that students are more than able to create with the resources available on most campuses.
Well, as you say, you are your best resource. Final year of university for you. What do you look forward to the most about first week?
First week, I am so excited about today. Today's Imagine Day. It's the first day on campus for all of our new students. And there's events happening just about every day. So spreading the message, answering questions, giving people directions, all of those things.
Being a mentor to those that need it most. Ava, thanks for coming on. Great ideas, as you see. Follow along on Twitter and on the website.